What don't you like about yourself? If your life had a narrator, who'd you choose? What does everyone do but won't admit? Look, I'll say it. Everyone poops. I know, it's hard to hear. Don't go to the doctor when they know they should. I am kind of at fault here. Have and even win an argument with a stranger from an encounter 3 years ago when you didn't say anything at the time. Has to be done in the shower. If you're not having these arguments in the shower, they're not real. Give advice that they don't follow. Again, I am slightly at fault. Wonder if people that have since long disappeared from your life, or you've only met once or twice, from time to time still think about you. Rehash conversations or plan future ones with people who aren't there. This is the only way I know how to interact with people, is if I meticulously plan out the conversation beforehand. Judge. We all do it. It's about being intelligent enough to not let that cloud our perspective. Pick sides. Physically they don't, but mentally they do. Think about compliments given by someone years ago. We all need a little ego boost once in a while. Let me remember things. Pretend like they weren't sleeping when a phone call wakes them up. Probably complain. No one likes a complainer. But everyone I've ever met complains about crap. If you aren't complaining about something in your life, are you really a human? Imagining what life would be like with your crush, even as an adult. Pick your nose. Like it's an effective way to clear when blowing just can't quite do it. But no, it's seen as unnatural. I don't know if it's unnatural, but people just think it's gross. Who is the worst main character we're supposed to sympathize with? The kids from the Trick cereal commercials. All the rabbit wants to do is eat some cereal, but the kids won't let him just because he's a rabbit. Racist pricks. Yeah, you kind of have a point there. That stupid Will Smith fish in Shark Tales. I haven't seen Shark Tales in a long time, so I don't know where the hate comes from. This is the thread where I learn how out of touch with popular culture I am. Debbie Gallagher from Shameless. Truly a horribly selfish, self-centered, and all-around horrible person. It kind of sucks since you kind of root for Debbie in the early seasons and then she grows up and is just awful. Piper from Orange is the New Black. Greg from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That bald-headed little bastard from a kid's show who acts like a spoiled Caillou did not want to go to the park today. Like all days, Caillou was being passive-aggressive. That from the Bears that goes in their house and eats all their porridge. Goldilocks is the villain of the story. What industry do you consider to be legal, organized crime? Probably government, that's one of them. Yelp. Advertise your business with them to increase engagement and gain positive reviews, but when you stop advertising, they suppress positive reviews and promote negative reviews. Cable TV companies that have eliminated the competition in an entire town. Any company that has a monopoly, yeah, they're bad. Pharmacy benefit management. The root cause behind why it is impossible to get honest and transparent drug pricing. Printer inks. Yeah, the way we price our printers/printer ink is a little ridiculous. The Church of Scientology. Oh, 100%. And it's a cult, and I feel bad for people that are trapped in it. Ticketmaster. A lot of online ticket sales are just really scummy now with their convenience fee. Anything based around an MLM? Well, yeah, MLMs are bad in general, so of course they're criminal. Payday loans. In theory, I like the idea, but in actuality, it does kind of just trap people into more debt. I scrolled for a while and was surprised not to see the online gambling industry. The offline gambling industry, too. What actor can you not stand? Jared Leto. Takes himself too seriously. Ezra Miller also can go on a crime spree and come out with a new movie, apparently. Leah Michele. Turns out she's pretty much just as annoying IRL. And don't worry about her seeing this comment. She can't read it. Gwyneth Paltrow. Snake oil shiller. Aw, come on. You mean you don't like Goop? You don't like her big old brand named Goop? How soon people forget Andy Dick. It's probably for a good reason, right? Steven Seagal. But actor is kind of a stretch. My fat cat. We put her on a diet and she acts like we starve her. Someone else already named James Corden. Jared Leto. Never liked him. Not looking forward to him in Haunted Mansion. James Corden. I don't know how we let the most annoying people on earth run our talk shows, but whatever, I guess. Lena Dunham. She's an AH. Everyone hates me until they need me. What professions are examples of this? Plastic surgeons. My uncle is a plastic surgeon and he does only reconstructive stuff, fixing burn victims' faces and stuff like that. But when people ask him what kind of doctor he is and he says plastic surgeon, they usually kind of scoff. IT. Not the clown. It is weird why IT guys get kind of shamed for, knowing computers when it's like, okay, don't come crying to me next time your Wi-Fi goes out. Lawyer here. The expectation that because you are a lawyer, you know everything about every law everywhere. In reality, most lawyers are highly specialized. I'm guessing you mean specialized in one field of law, not all laws. So yeah, that makes sense. Accounting. Like actual accounting or how people with OnlyFans call it. Dentists for sure. This might actually be the correct answer, because I hate going to the dentist. It's nothing against them, it's just I don't like going, but I need it. Tow truck drivers. Well, most people that don't like them are the people that get their cars towed or repossessed, so that makes sense. The guy's actually trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty. Even if they are, I've never had a warranty on the car, so they can't trick me. What is a massive American scandal that most people seem to not know about? There are probably a lot of American scandals that we don't know about because our education system doesn't want us to. Am I getting too political? I don't know. The Church of Scientology blackmailed and threatened IRS people to get their tax-exempt status. I love that just because it's a religion, they don't have to pay taxes, which is just not true. The absolute and cataclysmic failure of the foster care system. From what I know about it, it is despicable how it works right now. The media destroyed Gary Webb's career because he exposed the CIA's connection to cocaine. Newspapers like the New York Times later apologized. It is literally raining acid in Ohio right now. It's weird how long it took for major news outlets to actually start reporting it. The education system is failing kids due to the stupid reading recovery program that doesn't work. Big banks knowingly caused the economic depression and housing market crash in 2008 because they were guaranteed to be bailed out by taxpayers. This happened because the government guaranteed home loans to people who couldn't afford them. And they're doing it again. Pretty much everything Henry Kissinger did in his entire career. The fact that he's not locked away for crimes against humanity is truly remarkable. What are things the poor people know that the rich don't? The length to which disposable items can be reused/upcycled. A need to choose which bill you're gonna pay, electricity, phone, or whatever. How long it takes for the power company to shut your lights off if you're late on the bill. 1001 ways to prepare a potato. I don't even know how to do that in that many ways. The excitement of finding $1 on the ground. Drinking water stops the hunger for a short while. Weirdly, I think rich people know this too because of their weird diets where they eat nothing. The feeling of watching all your friends go on a field trip without you because your parents couldn't afford it. The fear of being poor again once you get out of the vicious cycle. What's something illegal that you would 100% do if you knew you wouldn't get caught? Probably most things, I think. Hide large sums of untaxed money in the walls of a chocolate-covered banana stand. Remember, there's always money in the banana stand. Fraudulently win the lottery. Not sure how that works, but go for it. Download a car. You wouldn't steal the moon. I mean, the moon doesn't really belong to anyone, so you could just take it if you want it. Break into Area 51. See what the fuss is about. Carry a salmon suspiciously. Y'all gonna make me Google this, aren't you? I don't even know if I want to know what this is. Insider trading. Gotta make that money. I mean, insider trading isn't really illegal if you're rich enough already. Go on the Disney Channel website without my parents' permission. You're playing a dangerous game there, pal, but I respect it. Build a fort in a furniture store. I don't even know if that's technically illegal, but that sounds fun. Smash someone's vehicles because they park like The amount of windows I'd be smashing right now. What was the most obvious hint a girl gave you that you missed? Not sure because I'm oblivious and I like men, so. She said that she was feeling different about me and that she couldn't stop thinking of me. My answer was, are you mad at me? It's a valid question. I was on a hiking trip with my college. You paid like $40 and they gave you all the equipment and you spent a week or so with 15 plus people and a few guides. We went to a hot spring. My tent got ripped. The guides had a spare, but we hadn't set it up yet. A lady sat in the hot spring with me at night and decided to go naked while I was in the spring with her. She then asked if I wanted to stay in her tent rather than put up the spare one. I said, nah, I can put up the spare one. I'm okay. Took me 3 months to realize that she was literally naked and asking me to sleep with her. Case closed. You win this thread. Yeah, that's like so obvious, but I'd probably do the same too because I'm dumb. Back in college, I was working with a girl named Rochelle. We both got off work around 3 a.m. I always walked walked her out to her car. One night, she invited me to come to her apartment for pancakes. Told her I appreciate it, but I wasn't hungry. I didn't understand the weird, hurt look she gave me until years later. Imagine your weird, hurt look if you had accepted and then found out there were no pancakes. I mean, who knows? She could have actually been making pancakes. All of them. Seriously, I can't take a hint, even if it was a sign hitting me in the face. You know, I've never kissed a man with a beard. My literal response was, yeah, me neither. I used to drive this girl to school. She lived on the other side of the district. Had to go past the school to pick her up every day. Prom was coming up. She kept complaining that she didn't have a date. I told her not to worry, that she was really pretty and someone was bound to ask her. I am an idiot. We were at a sleepover and she played with my hair for like an hour and I woke up in her arms. And you just kind of walked that off like you didn't take anything from that? Want to come over to my place to help me study? My parents are away on a trip. This was in college and I was a complete gaming nerd without a clue in the world. I mean, really, her mistake was asking you to study? Like, that doesn't get a gamer interested. What movie never gets old? Oh brother, where art thou? I never fail to find a little nuance that I previously missed. Love the Coen brothers humor. Clueless. The Silence of the Lambs. I think I watched this too young because I don't remember a lot about it. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Aw, it didn't work. The Mummy, 1999. I mean, Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, like, come on. Airplane. I wish we could get movies like Airplane again, but I don't know if it's possible. Back to the Future. Well, no, it does have some time elements in it, so it's not timeless. Goodfellas. 10 Things I Hate About You. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It actually gets newer. Office Space. Have not seen it said here yet. During a very dark period, what was the best thing you ever did for your mental health? Get outside as much as possible. Open all blinds and curtains during the day. Rather than watching shows/movies, try to work out or do something physical. Do puzzles. Can be regular puzzles, crosswords, etc. Keep your mind active. Going on walks and staying away from social media. As difficult as it might be, getting rid of social media for a little bit can do a lot of good. I made myself reach to friends and eventually found a new and rewarding friend group. This was following a pretty nasty breakup, so I think connecting with people in a healthy way really helped reestablish my ability to trust others. Started regularly exercising. The gym became my safe place where I could turn off my destructive thoughts for a bit, and making exercise a habit greatly boosted my sense of self-worth. Quit my job. As soon as I put in my notice, I started feeling better. It really can just be as simple as that. I got a one-eyed cat named Spoon. He's my best friend. You can't just tell us that without posting pictures, man. Come on. I went on a weekend retreat all by myself. Reset my biological clock, ate when I was hungry, slept when I was tired, showered as long as I wanted, pleasured myself, painted my nails, did art, took a hike, just breathed. Learned to accept that life moves like ocean waves. Some days are up, some are down. Be patient, give it a chance. The tide always turns eventually. Left the relationship, LOL. I'm proud of you. It takes a lot to do that. Made my bed every day. New habit I learned when in a very low time in my life. That one new habit helped provide some stability and structure in a pretty time. IDK. Just helped my mental health out quite a bit. Stopped dating. Hopefully not forever because you never know, but yeah, it's good to stop for a minute. A ghost appears in front of you. What do? Ask it if I can see me too. In my best Shaggy voice, yell, ghost! That's the only appropriate response, I'd think. I guess it would depend on location and what I'm currently doing. Am I pooping? Hopefully not. I hope the ghost is at least courteous enough to leave you alone in there. Full-on interview. Who are you? Where? What? How? Why? Hopefully the ghost can communicate to you as well. Ignore it like all the other random hallucinations. I'm ghosting it. I call my girlfriend Boo because she's been ghosting me for 3 years. I'd poke it. Okay, but what if your finger just passes right through? What then, genius? Take a picture or video with my phone. Hopefully it does show up on the phone, but I doubt it. Hey there, ghost. It's me, ya boy. Get a psychiatrist immediately. Mr. Crick, I hate to sound like a broken record, but that's schizophrenia. Before or after I shit my pants? Both if you want to give those answers. Those who grew up before the 2000s, in what ways did the world feel doomed back then? I remember a lot more talk about saving the rainforests, early 90s. Destruction of the rainforest. Either we managed to save the rainforest enough, or we just destroyed it so we stopped talking about it. In the early 70s, in the US, we were conditioned to believe it could all end at any minute if either of us pushed the button. This lasted until the wall fell, really, but telling a kindergartner to hide under the desk in case a hydrogen bomb was dropped? stuff kinda put some fear in ya. It felt potentially doomed, but not doomed. The Cold War made the possibility of nuclear war a concern, but it didn't feel like it was destined to happen. Y2K! It was the end of the world! I think I was maybe like 1 year old at Y2K, and hey, I'm still here. For me, growing up in the 90s, the world seemed full of hope and promise. Yeah, so much for that. Bermuda Triangle was a real problem as a kid. I'm still afraid of quicksand and killer bees. I do wonder what makes them killers though, cause I haven't seen any bees with knives. What do you enjoy more the older you get? Doing absolutely nothing. It's probably my favorite activity. A weekend where nothing is happening. That's most of my weekends. Silence. It's fleeting, but when you get it, oh, it feels so nice. Staying home. If I don't have to leave the house, I won't. Naps. Now that I disagree with. I can't take a nap. Otherwise, it just ruins my internal clock. Being out in nature. I do need to tap back into this one. That first cup of coffee really just gets you going, huh? Listening instead of talking. I think everyone should learn how to do this, just regardless of age. Reading for fun. It can be fun sometimes, but other times I'm just too, mush-brained. What are the worst names to give a pair of twins? GIF and GIF, but say them differently. The same spelling, but pronounced differently. I've seen it. Also, Honey and Hickory when your last name is Ham. They weren't twins, but that's also a true story. Pete and Repeat. I think it would be funny if Repeat is the firstborn. Mike and Ike. I mean, nobody's named that. Nothing is named that. Are you kidding? Peaches and Kareem. That's not terrible. That's fine. Cain and Abel. Ooh, yeah, that could be dangerous. Da Nephew and Da Niece. It's Da Babies. Thing 1 and Thing 2. I feel so bad because I feel like that has been somebody's names. Stupid piece of shit. And James. Yeah, that's not great. Tick and Talk. It's not horrible, but you shouldn't name people these. Do you pee in the shower? Why or why not? Yeah, because the alternative is get out of the shower, use your towel to dry off real quick, and then pee in the toilet, and then get back into the shower? What's the point? I pee before I get into the shower. My wife's nose is very good. Alright, that's a valid reason. I pee in the toilet from the shower. If they're close enough, I guess, but it's still risky. I do. Once hot water hits me, my whole body relaxes. Must pee. It's all pipes. Yeah, it's not like your shower water is being reused unless you have something like that. I don't know. To pee in the shower is freedom. To pee in the bath is not. To pee in the bath is a crime, and you shouldn't do it. I have come to the point I instantly have to pee the moment I get into the shower. Of course I do. That stuff just happens when you're taking a Waffle it up. Just bring the poop knife into the shower. Yeah, I mean, come on. Who doesn't have a poop knife, am I right? Yes, I do, because it saves water usage. It's not like it's being poured on your head. It's literally going straight down. It's even more hygienic to do it in the shower since you can properly wash off the urine in there. Of course I pee in the shower. As a girl, I feel like an aimbot, LOL. I never thought I'd see a sentence like that, and I kinda wish I didn't. What do you feel people shouldn't be getting offended by? History. It's important to leave it as unmodified as possible. Being told they're wrong about something. We all need to learn a little bit of humility. Anything they read online from a complete stranger. I'm offended you would say that. I'm offended by your offense. When someone tells you no, a lot of people's first instinct is to try to convince the other of something, and I've seen so many people get offended at a clear-cut no, an honest mistake, saying something that wasn't meant to offend. Literally everything that doesn't concern you or hurt anyone. When you ask someone how old they are, it's a little strange to ask sometimes, but it's also weird to get super upset about it. People getting offended by other people being offended. A study shows that not watching the news and limiting social media almost fully cures being offended. You wake up tomorrow and find that all social media sites have been shut down worldwide. Internet, phone lines, and texting still works, but no social media. What do? I'd probably be a lot happier. Go about my business. I lived longer without social media than I've lived with it. I only use Reddit when I'm bored, so I'd be fine. Now, if YouTube was also being counted as social media, I'd be sad for a bit, then I'd probably live a much more productive life after. Run up to random people to show pictures of my lunch and funny little minion quotes. Read a book. If I spent as much energy reading a book as I do reading through dumb tweets, I'd probably have read a whole library by now. I live my best life. I sigh a big sigh of relief because I'm finally free. If you feel trapped now, why not cut the cord yourself? Clap for joy. Hope it's permanent. Same stuff I did back in the 90s and and 2000s. Rollerblading in your windbreaker with a disc cam? I mean, that sounds like a good time. Watch as the world begins to heal. I do think it's kind of a detriment to how many people are able to interact with each other all at once just because of the internet and social media, but the news is also a little crazy, so that would just inflame people too. It'll be nostalgic, and everyone older than 30 won't shut up as to how this is how it used to be. Get a good night's sleep every night. God, I hope that's what would happen. Set up a new site called InstaTwit Face TalkTube and make a fat wedge. Who do you think is the most unfunny comedian? Russell Brand. Not funny at all, but I do like his videos on current affairs. Him and Ricky Gervais. I'll probably get downvoted to hell for this, but Robin Williams. I really liked him as an actor, but his stand-up was just stupid. The not funny kind of stupid. Sarah Silverman. Adam Sandler. Christ, that dude is cringe. Is Amy Schumer considered a comedian? Honestly, not sure. We're gonna have to consult some experts on that one and get back to you. Gabriel Iglesias. I mean, what the Will Ferrell. Does Will Ferrell do stand-up, or are you just saying you don't like his comedy in movies? Joe Rogan. I like him as a guy, but I don't find him very funny. Do people think Joe Rogan is supposed to be funny? I mean, he's funny to laugh at. Who is still alive that surprises you? Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, that is a little bit of a mystery. Jimmy Carter. I about lost my mind when I heard Jimmy Carter was still alive. Clint Eastwood. That dude has looked 80 forever. I don't know how it's possible. Steve-O. It is a bit of a miracle that he's still kicking it. David Attenborough is thankfully immortal. Bam Margera. I do hope he gets better soon. Elton John. Putin. Paul McCartney. It's always interesting to see these celebrities who are still alive even though they're massive pieces of cultural history and they're just still kicking it. What tastes better than it smells? Most cheeses. I know cheese is supposed to smell bad sometimes, but I never know if it's still safe when it does smell stinky. Your tongue? I mean, that's like a semantics thing, really. Canned soup smells unpleasant when opened, and I have to bear with it until it's heated up. Then it becomes what I expected. Durian. I really want to figure out how I can try a durian, but I also don't want to have my house stink bombed by it. Roasted Brussels sprouts. You can't trick me. I'm not eating Brussels sprouts. Kimchi. Of course it's gonna smell a little gross. It's fermented cabbage. Like anything fermenting is gonna have a bit of a smell. Fish. Fish smells good, and when cooked properly, it tastes a lot better than it smells. Which fictional character would make a great president? Dave. I would take a bullet for this man. Jean-Luc Picard. From what I know about him, he'd probably be alright. The man with no name. Zap Brannigan. Gandalf. I mean, with the wizard stuff, he probably has better stuff to do. Pedro. Vote for Pedro. I'm sure it's been said. Pinocchio. Well, we'd finally get an honest politician. Saul Goodman. Maybe not. I don't know. Yoda. I feel like he's got more galactic problems going on. Lisa Simpson. Sure. Yeah. What's your favorite form of exercise? Hiking. It is nice for getting out in nature. Yoga. I picked yoga up this year, and I'm so glad I did. My body feels looser. My balance is better. I'm better at dealing with stress because I have a place where I'm forced to focus only on yoga and what I'm doing only in that room. Lifting. As a very small woman, it's empowering being able to see my lifts get heavier and better over time. Everyday tasks also don't seem as bad as before. Carrying heavy stuff from my car to my apartment, living on a third floor, moving heavy stuff around rooms, groceries, being able to carry my own suitcase over my head to put it at the overhead compartment in a plane. Pretty much the ability of being independent and not have to ask men or stronger women around for help. My metabolism has gone up too because of muscle, so I can eat more without getting fat. Rock climbing. I am actually a pretty big fan of rock climbing. I mostly stick with bouldering because I am still scared of those 30-foot walls. Walking. It's probably the easiest form of exercise, but it's not that intensive. Dancing. Just in the living room. Nothing for which I need to leave the house or see other people. Cycling. Pretty easy and very nice views that cars don't see. I really enjoy spin classes. I never understood what spin classes are. Is that you just stand in place and spin around for a while? Skiing. The best part about skiing and snowboarding is it's just fun too. Pick up basketball games. Surfing. I wish I understood how to surf, but like something in my brain just doesn't get it. What is the most popular/frequent lie in the world? I have read all the terms and conditions. Yeah, saw that one coming a mile away. I already have plans. Sorry. Yeah, all good, thanks. How are you? Deep down, we know it's not all good. Your call is important to us. If it was, then why have I been on hold for 30 minutes? I'll be there in 5 minutes, which translates roughly to I'll show up an hour late. I'm fine. This one is tricky because you never really know if it's a lie or the truth. Who's the greatest ever stand-up comedian? My father at family holidays. Richard Pryor or George Carlin? Richard Pryor. You know, I used to be a fan of Mitch Hedberg. I still am, but I used to too. Probably George Carlin. Billy Connolly. I like Bill Burr when he's talking to Conan O'Brien. Bill Burr interacting with people is really funny. Robin Williams. He made my childhood memorable. Okay, but are you thinking of his stand-up specials, or are you just thinking about the characters he played in movies? Eddie Murphy. I've probably said before, but his early stand-up specials are a little risque, but they are pretty funny. Louis C.K. is just different. He has the best delivery by far, and his jokes are some of the best I've ever heard. GOAT, no doubt. I will admit, objectively, Louis C.K.'s jokes were pretty funny, but I wish the guy just knew how to respect women. Carlin or Chappelle? Can't decide. Probably Jimmy Carr. I love his dark sense of humor and have many jokes that makes me laugh out loud. His comebacks are great. Chappelle, what is something that if it disappears, the world will be better? Pop-up ads. Thank God for ad blocker. Greed. I do think greed is the biggest form of evil we have in this world. Dictators and incompetent leaders. Influencers. Malaria. Now that's a good answer. It's talking about an actual problem here. Animal cruelty. Those small steps or ledges where you hardly notice them so you stub your toe on them. Pollution. The chemicals that are released into the air and cover our lands and fill our waters are not only killing us humans, but the animals which we share this earth with, and the earth itself. We only have this one planet. Once it's gone, it's gone. TikTok. I mean, probably just for the amount of attention span it steals. Social media. Pretty much the same deal as TikTok. It steals too much attention. What is the ugliest, most boring color for a car? Hearing aid beige. I'm sorry, come again? I couldn't hear you. Tan. Nobody asks for tan. Tan is the color they give you. Pantone 448C. It's the legally mandated color of packs of cigarettes in Australia, and later in many other countries, because research identified it as the ugliest. I guess it looks like rot and mold. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that is kind of gross. Champagne. So that's just a different flavor of beige, got it. Baby green. I don't know many cars that are made with that specific color. Appliance white. You can wash, buff, and wax the car, and it will look like you didn't do anything. Faded lime green. Two-tone brown. Why would you ever want a brown car? Gray. There are much too much cars in this color on the road. So much so that I'm pretty sure there are statistics saying if you have a gray or silver car, you're more likely to get in a car accident because it's the most common car color, so therefore more accidents happen to it. You're a celebrity. What outrageous name would you give your newborn? Megatron. I've always fancied the name quinoa. Keen for short, or queen, falafel. Alright, so we're naming our children after food. Got it. Caligula. Iguanodon crispy mozzarella stick. Okay, remember, we are naming a child, not a cat. Edna, but only if it's a boy. Uncle Edna. Isosceles. Like Isosceles Kramer on Seinfeld. Moonbeam Nebula, obviously. Alright, sorry, it was just a question. John. Normal names seem to be so outrageous to them. It would almost be like a breath of fresh air. Where do you see yourself in 1 hour? Wishing I was going home because I'm gonna be at my other job. Asleep. God, I wish. Still sitting on my chair. God, I wish. Probably taking a shit. In 1 hour, I see myself cooking dinner and enjoying a glass of wine for my elderly mother. Aw, that's kinda nice. Checking to see if this comment gets gold. Edit, how did that work? Well, sometimes if you ask, ye shall receive. Talking to my boss about my pay. New employee started last month. She has less experience and I learned she is getting paid more. Remember, it is not illegal to talk about your pay at work. Hopefully sleeping and not wasting my time on Reddit. Who's that one musician that you wish was still alive and still making music? Jimi Hendrix, IMO. Groundbreaking guitar style. Would have loved to see what the man could have given the world. Wished he could have become a mentor and had a comfortable retirement. Giving Mozart access to modern EDM tech would be awesome. Bowie. Freddie Mercury. I do wonder how a lot of these bands would have evolved into the modern age. Sam Cooke. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Freddie Mercury. Gone too soon. Prince. Mac Miller. Chris Cornell. Tupac. Bob Marley. Jimi Hendrix. MF Doom. Oh god, I actually forgot that he passed relatively recently. Yikes. If your life had a narrator, who'd you choose? Look, all I'm gonna say is don't pick me. I don't wanna. Snoop Dogg would be funny. Samuel L. Jackson. Motherfuckers everywhere in my life. Ron Howard. Charlie Day. I'd love this if it wasn't just straight narration, if he was also doing commentary about things I'm doing. God, it'd be so funny. Alan Rickman. Morgan Freeman. This was the obvious answer. Gordon Ramsay. Gotta hear, "You f***ing donkey," at least a couple of times per day. Sofia Vergara. I could see that being interesting. Matthew McConaughey. I like the idea, but I don't know if I want my life to sound like a cologne commercial. James Earl Jones. Now that is a good answer. What don't you like about yourself? My lack of motivation. You and me both, sister. I overthink everything. Are you also a Virgo? Because I've been told that's a Virgo problem. I've let myself become unhealthy and I'm not taking the steps I need to in order to fix it. At least you recognize it, you know? What's the character limit on a Reddit post? Oh, buddy, you don't gotta go in that much detail. There is nothing I like about myself. Come on, I'm sure there's something. Laziness, always tired, feeling numb all the time. I can't walk away from people that hurt me, but I isolate from everyone else. Overthinking, my addictive personality. I procrastinate a lot. It's just so easy to procrastinate. I wish there was an easy way to stop. What's one thing you think you spend way too much money on? Probably Magic the Gathering cards. Oh yeah, those will just destroy your wallet. Be careful. Eating out. Edit, yes, I am talking about food here. You little nasties. What do you think he was talking about? DoorDash. I really need to be stopped. If anything, DoorDash needs to be stopped because they're charging extra tax on top of everything you're already ordering. Steam games that I'll never play. I unfortunately understand this too well. Effing guitar amps, bro. It's really unfortunate how expensive a lot of musical equipment can be. Oh, that one was a doozy. I gotta get going because I got stuff to do. Thank you all so much once again for watching. My name has been Brandon, and be sure to go down below and do the thing. Bye!